Rich Tech with Rich. Today I'm going to show you how to repair your Magsafe 1 cable. Now you may have a Magsafe cable that looks like this. You may have rolled it under your seat, or rolled your seat over it rather, or it may have been caught up somewhere. All in all, it doesn't look pretty. The insulation, the rubber insulation, has been destroyed, even though the L-shaped connector is still working fine. Now today I'm going to show you step by step how to repair this. Some cables are worse, as you can see with this example. This is also very dangerous. As you can see, there is some rust or some corrosion damage already, which has accessed the wire. Now to start off, we need a new or an alternate cable, a clean cable which insulation is okay and perfect. The cable should also have the cable clip, as you can see, or it may be connected to a charger, as in this case, only waiting for the L-shaped connector. We can use this. The first step, we need to cut around 1 centimeter away from the connector. You can use a scissor to do this. I will be repairing 2 cables, so we'll have 2 of these. So we've cut the first one, and you've seen this second one in our previous at the introduction. You also cut 1 centimeter from the end. Remove the rubber insulation which is destroyed, and also separate the cables. You will find that inside a Magsafe cable there are 2 wires. Essentially, one is insulated and the other one is not. The insulated one, we'll call it the V out or the positive, and the one which is not insulated is the return or the negative. Now we have both our heads here. These are now ready, or I'll call them heads or connectors, L-shaped connectors. They are ready to be joined to new cables or to alternative cables which are not destroyed. We can throw away, you can see this is the damage caused to the previous cables. We can throw these away together with the previous cable. We throw these away, and now we get ready to connect the new wires. Now before we proceed, we may need to know if our L-shaped connectors are working. For this, we use our previously wire connected charger. Be careful we connect it to a power source, and we be careful to connect it to the L shape so that we do not cause any short. Make sure the V out cables attach the V out. You can see here this connector is working, turning from green to amber, showing it is charging. Now this is a good connector and good for our projects. We'll do this for the other connector too, because we have 2 connectors we are trying to join with alternate wires. The next step is to prepare the ends of both the connector and the wire. We separate the V out, which is the one which has the insulation, and the naked wires, we call them the return or the negatives. We want to join them here, and for us to join, we need to reveal at least 1 millimeter of each cable end by removing the insulation from the V out cable, and we will join them right at the ends. You can use a razor or any other way to remove the insulation at the ends of the V out cable or the positive cable from both ends of the connector and the wire. 1 millimeter cut will be okay, and ensure to slide some insulation. In our case, we use the yellow insulation. They are held with a piece of black wire. This is important to cover our joint. Now the rest is to use a soldering gun and wire to solder or to connect the 2 points of the wires together. We start with the V out cable, and this is the only one we will solder. Ensure that the solder is evenly spread out. There is no lump left at the end or at the joint. Make this neat so that it turns out fine. You don't want a lump at the joint. The joint should be strong but thin. If you pull on both ends of the connector on the side, you should find that it is strong enough. All round, the joint should be clean and thin. Do so for the second wire and connector too, ensuring that the joint is strong and clean and thin. Now slide the insulation over the joint. This is the reason why we had our insulation on in the first place. Slide it over the joint and should secure it neatly, and let it cover the whole V out cable so that there will be no short at that point. Now we can go ahead and prepare our negative wires to cover over the joint, and this is how our joint should look like when the negative wires are placed on top of each other from both sides. Before we proceed, we need to confirm if our work is good. Now we connect it to a Macbook. Of course, this is a MacBook Pro. You can see this is working fine and charging fine too, showing our connection is perfect. Now what remains is to slide the rubber insulation over the joint to cover it up, and we have a completed joint. So slowly push and pull the rubber insulation over the joint. Don't do it roughly, ensure you do it slowly so that the joint is not destroyed. It should move over the joint effortlessly, and we secure the ends with super glue. Ensure that the joint is permanent and strong enough. The completed joint should be as neat as this. No one can tell if there is some work done. The second cable is also looking nice. You can see the black or the dark colors there showing it's past, but the present is good. And of course we need to test at the end, showing our charger is working fine. So this is how you repair your Magsafe 1 L-shaped connector cable, and I think I'll be making a second video of how you can do this again, but also we will be looking at making another video on Magsafe 2 cable repair. Now if you like this video or kind of video, make sure to subscribe, like, and also you can ring the bell so that you do not miss any other episode in future.